All right, what's good, man? We're gonna try this again. We'll see, and we will see what's going on with it. We will see what's going on with it. That is not going to be it right there. That is not going to be it right there. All right. So hopefully you guys gonna get. I'm gonna try to get back on here. Hopefully this is running. Okay. All right. I see it. I see it. I see it. All right. Cool, man. Cool. All right, so hopefully this won't be any issue this time. I'm sorry, man. I lost you guys last time. It blocked. It just jumped through me out, man. Yeah, it was Blazing Sports. I'm back. Yeah, I hit the like button on the way in, man. It was crazy. I don't know what the deal was. This is the second or third time I've done a live stream with something like that happen, man. So let's cut to it. Hate that I ruined that, man. I had like 50 people on the stream already, man, and that just didn't work out, man. So let's wait just a couple more seconds. If we can go in again. Marlo's Corner, what's good, man? How you feeling? Yeah, I think I ended the last one. Hopefully that last one's not going on still. But look, what's good, Don Ron? I'm chilling, man, myself. Hope life's well for you. I got a bunch of text messages from people telling me that y'all couldn't hear that last stream. So we're gonna keep it going. I got my man. Yeah, no sound on your live stream. Yeah, what's going on? Miss Boxing Fantastic. How you feeling? We got 10 people in here. We're going to try to get it. It was like 50 people before, man. So I get into the time. I'm going to wait for a second to give some people some chances to get in, see if they want to come back in. We got 12 people in the house. Hit the like button on the way up. What's going on, Donald Banks? How you feeling? How are you feeling? Man, I heard a really good Beverly Rose. What is going on with you, Beverly Rose? All right, Beverly, we got to do something tomorrow morning. I'm going to send me your email and the time you're available tomorrow morning and a phone number. And I'll call and we'll hook up and we're going to do that video before we do the live stream. Let's make that happen. Beverly, just please send me a number so I can call you and set up that interview that we're going to do. What's blazing in sports? I did see a screen over 30 minutes before someone told me before. I don't know, man. This is crazy, man. What's good, Mark? But yeah, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you that evening, Marlo. God, man, I hate that it's taken that thing got screwed up. Actually, you know what I got to do? I actually have to go back, and while I do this, I'm going to delete that other live stream because there might be people confused as to what's going on with that, man. So I'm going to get rid of this last live stream so nobody can be tempted to go to that one since I got held up. I'll email you my number. That's what's up. Cool, Beverly. We'll get that done. All right, so let me get into the meat of this. All right, so Floyd Mayweather Jr. Has been accused by no other than Robert Larios. I see your response, man. I don't see it deleted. So Floyd Mayweather Jr. was accused by no other than Bob Arum of trying to get Gervonta Davis beat. And a whole bunch of people are talking about how Oscar De La Hoya set up Saddam Ali. And see, I had to give my thoughts on this one. Bob Arum saying that about Floyd Mayweather Jr. takes one to know one. It takes a crook to know a crook, clearly, because Bob Arum tried to set up Floyd Mayweather Jr. to lose several times. But here's the thing. He was too good to set up. And if you can't, I don't think there really is such a thing as setting up. Well, you can attempt to set up a fighter. Like if you have like the judges against them and it's like an obvious robbery or something like that. Like, or you do things like Bob Arum did with Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn, where you put him in the ring with a very little known guy that is probably 2 weight classes above him naturally 2 weight classes bigger in Jeff Horn. And then you write into the rematch clause that the fight has to take place in Australia. So in order to keep his title, Manny Pacquiao would have had to beat, if he didn't beat Jeff Horn the first time, he would have had to beat him 2 times in Australia. That's some stuff where it's like, all right, man, you're basically what you're doing is you're putting your finger on the scale, on the scales of justice. You're just tipping it a little bit one way or the other, right? I don't see that with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him and Floyd. And if I don't see that with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and what he's done with Gervonta Davis to date. Now, the talk about him fighting Vasily Lomachenko, maybe. But at the same time, that is still giving. If he's setting them up, that's a good way to set somebody up, man. To constantly give them a chance to make a name for themselves. The difference between what happened to Saddam Ali and what happened to what Floyd might or might not be trying to do to Gervonta Davis is that if Gervonta Davis pulls it off, Gervonta Davis gains something significant. Gervonta Davis is the underdog to Vasily Lomachenko. If it was announced that they were going to fight next month, Vasily Lomachenko might be a 10-1 favorite over Gervonta Davis. I would wager on that. I would wager on it. Oh, Felix Colazo said, I don't buy being set up when you're a champ. You got the strap. You got to fight best. Tank versus Lomo is not a setup. No, I don't think it is a setup. It's an opportunity for Gervonta Davis he might be trying to get him beat. Like he's putting him in a fight that he doesn't think. See, it's like a balancing act. Is he supposed to is your promoter supposed to put you in fights that you're going to win? Right? Or is he supposed to put you in fights that you have a good chance to win? Or is he supposed to give you a chance to be to gain doing something people don't expect you to do? Right? And if Tank Davis beat Vasily Lomachenko, he would catapult himself to the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, without a doubt, if he was to beat Vasily Lomachenko, right? And quite honestly, I think he can do it. I'm not going to say I think he will do it, but I definitely think he can do it. Vasily Lomachenko showed, and this is what I liked about the Vasily Lomachenko fight. Vasily Lomachenko showed vulnerability in that fight. Absolutely showed vulnerability in that fight to a guy that was bigger than him and a guy that was, what's going on, Mark Blake? Oh, Little 95 says you're supposed to fight the best, not the worst. 100%, man. I guarantee. I agree. I agree. But here's the thing, though. When you're in those middleweight classes and somebody like the thing with yeah, Don Banks is like, man, screw that. They got Ali murdered almost. Yeah, now that was ridiculous because the guy doesn't belong in the weight class. See, that's exactly what I was going to say. He doesn't belong in the weight class. That guy's not a 154 pounder. That's a 168 pounder. That's a 168 pounder. I got to look at the weigh-in again, but he doesn't belong in that weight class. You know what I mean? So he's fighting a guy. It's a young 21-year-old guy. But as soon as you saw the two standing next to each other, they're seriously. He didn't belong in a ring with him. And would that have been different? Saddam Ali really is not a 154 pounder. But then again, there you go. Saddam Ali probably shouldn't be in 154 pounds. I think the same thing would happen with Saddam Ali and any of those guys as a champion in 154 pounds. You know what I mean? So it's, which way is it? I mean, man, how do you pronounce it? Mungia said he's moving up. What's going on, J-Dog? Said he's moving up to 160 next year. Yeah, I'm sure he is. There's no chance he can make 100. He's not going to stay there, man. That's a big dude, man. Mungia is 160 still, definitely. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, that's like if you squeeze some dude down from 175 pounds down to 154 pounds, that you ain't never heard of, and you just pop up. Hey man, still, if you the champ and he made the weight, you're supposed to be able to beat that dude. That's just what it is. Lil 95 said, remind me of Ward versus Kovalev, meaning Ward is smaller. Yeah, but see, Ward was moving up in weight. So Ward knew what he was doing. That's a guy that squeezed down 2 weight classes. That's clearly a dude that squeezed down 2 weight classes. You know? So did he get set up? Honestly, man, he didn't deserve that belt to begin with. So any decent 154 pounder is going to beat Saddam Ali. And I see you, man, Fahim Satur. But man, who could he have not? I mean, you'd had to give him. Ward had 2 tune-ups. Yeah, that's true. But shit, so did Saddam Ali. He had Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto ain't no 154 pounder. Miguel Cotto's a 140 pounder, man. He's like a 38-year-old 140 pounder, man. That just, that was his last fight. He was walking out the door, and Saddam Ali got the belt. You know what I mean? So for real, Saddam Ali needs to be at 147 pounds, man. On the real, he needs to be at 147 pounds. The way he was getting moved, man, the way he was getting moved all over the place with those punches, it was like Munguia was slapping his son around. He's just too big, man, way too big. And that's the type of situation where it's like, damn, could the sanctioning bodies not sanction a fight where the champion is the one that shouldn't get the shot? Because as big a mismatch as that was, dog, it's like the state commission. It's like the state commission should have said, nah, Saddam Ali, we're not going to let Saddam Ali fight this guy. We're not going to let Saddam Ali fight this guy because it's too much of a mismatch, right? Because the dude is it's crazy, man. Oh, Fahim said Ali ain't going to be the same fighter again. Nah. Definitely not. And Corey Lee Bice said Ali could have really got hurt. He did really get hurt, man. He didn't just kind of got hurt. That's just like it was like he did. What do you call them? Musical. What do you call that musical? Like the little. What's the Greek? It's like a lot of Greeks play it, or Polish people play that instrument where it's like a little piano you hold and you stretch it out and shrink it back in. God, dog, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's like he concussed. It's like he just smashed his head in maybe 1/4 of an inch and it bounced back. Oh yeah, like Joe Frazier fighting Foreman. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Sheldon Holmes, you heard what Blood said this morning? Yeah, I listened to it, where he was talking about how there is no setting up champions. Yeah, but there is feeding them to the wolves, man. That dude got fed. Yeah, an accordion. Hell yeah. It's like his head was like an accordion. Just womp, womp. Man, shit. Dude, when you just hit the dude and he knocked that dude off with a lead left hook, man. Renee Love said Ali had his chin up in the air all day. That dude was too big, man. That dude was too big. It didn't look like a fair fight, man. Seriously, that was not a fair fight. That was a 147 pounder fighting a 168 pounder, and they met in the middle. Oh yeah, no worries, man. No worries, Marlo. We can make it happen again. I'll show up again. Robert Lars says Saddam Ali versus Liam Smith could keep him leveled. Honestly, man, he need to take a year off. Saddam Ali need to take a year off. That was ugly. That was ugly. I mean, that's why we know when a ref is in there like, hold on, man, hold on. We got to stop this. This dude going to get kicked. We're going to walk out with he's going to walk out on the stretcher. You let this guy go too much longer. Kenny and Fanon, who do you think would have been a better fight for Gennady Golovkin? Any number of people. You talking about then what's going on, Ron Finkel? Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. I missed another super chat, my man. Rashawn McClarty, man. Shout out in the super chat, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you guys for supporting the call, man. I mean, supporting the cause. Ron Finkel, man. Shout out in the super chat, man. Much love. Thank you, sir, for supporting. anybody would have been a better fight for Gennady Golovkin than Vanis Martirosyan. That's a former sparring partner who ain't fought in 2 years and is a 154 pounder. The fight that I like to see for Gennady Golovkin the most is I like to see Charlo. If not, Jacobs. Since they're both on HBO, I'd love to see him fight Danny Jacobs. I like to see him fight. I like to see Gennady Golovkin fight Billy Joe Saunders. Any of the top guys at 160 pounds, I wouldn't mind. And I think they all got a chance to beat him. I think he's got a chance to beat everybody, and all those other guys have a chance to beat him. I mean, there's a lot of parity at 160, man. Gennady Golovkin to me is not the big bad undefeatable wolf, man. At least that's how I see it. Fanon, get him, Mike. What up, Fanon? Just got in, man. Felt bad for Ali. He never had a chance. No, he didn't, dude. That's the point I want to get on. That is the downside of some of this nonsense, man. That's the downside of some nonsense, of this nonsense, where you have mismatched cards, and that's something you see consistently with Golden Boy Promotions, where you have a fight where that was a mismatch. That was an ugly mismatch, and I wasn't a big fan of Saddam Ali. And to be honest with you, I didn't do a ton of research. I didn't do a ton of research on that fight beforehand because I was like, it's Saddam Ali. I don't think very highly of him. And if cats were like, oh, this guy Munguia is a good fighter, that's why I watched it. I was like, all right, well, I'll go watch it because people in the live stream said watch it. Otherwise, I'd have just waited for I would have waited for the news to tell me what happened and went back and watched it. But when the dudes walked in the ring, I was like, oh, hell no. This dude looked like what's his name? Dude, he looked like fucking Frankenstein walking out there, man. I was like, God dog, how much bigger is this dude? I don't think I've ever seen that big a size mismatch. I don't think I've ever seen that big a size mismatch, man. What's going on, B-Slap? How you feeling, man? I don't think I've ever seen that big a physical mismatch in a ring. Maybe, I mean, I've seen Guillermo Rigondeaux fight Luis Flores, but that's about it, man. I mean, that was huge. That was a huge size mismatch, man. Huge size mismatch. Huge power mismatch, man. Yeah, man. Pito Freshkabar, biggest mismatch since Canelo. And who does Canelo fight with? Golden Boy. They make these terrible, terrible mismatches, man. I mean, it was ugly. That's what I'm saying. That's the first time I think with a fight where they shouldn't allow the champion to fight. That's how big a mismatch that shit was. Maybe since, didn't Michael Spinks, maybe Tyson Michael Spinks, like this shit was over. But you couldn't have gone anywhere. But Michael Spinks had nowhere to run. Oh, for now, there's an active junior middleweight who's sick. Yeah, I saw that. It's 166'7" dude. Yeah, man, that's bananas. But yeah, I haven't seen him actually fight though. Let me back up a little bit. But in a championship fight, that was crazy. But did he set him up? I mean, hey man, when you're the champion, you're supposed to be defending against all comers. That's Blood's point. And I can agree 100% with that. When you're the champion, when you are a champion, not the champion. When you're a champion, because there is no the champion in most of these weight classes. There's no champion. A guy that is the champion. It's like, can you have 4 NBA champions at the same time? No. Can you have 4 NFL champions at the same time or 4 Masters champions at the same time? Well, you can with golf. You can have 4 major champions at the same time. But in most sports, man, you got 1 champion at a time. And here we got 5, 6, 7 champions at a time. But it is what it is, man. Munguia started at 140, 147. He just started fighting at 140, 54. That's because he's 21. When did he turn pro? When he's 18, 16? I mean, if he started, let me go to this guy. That's not this. I mean, if the cat, he's from Mexico, so I'm assuming he's turned pro when he was 16. If you're 16 years old and you draining down to 147, you know, you still growing. But let me just verify that with, let me type out dude that just got his ass whooped. Saddam Ali box rec. Let's see how old Jaime Munguia was. Yeah, he's 28-0 with 20. He's almost got 31 fights and he's 30 fights and he's 21 years old. He turned pro 5 years ago. Come on, man. That's some misleading stats, dude. 5 years ago, he was 16 years old, man. Yeah, he's fighting at 147 when he's 16 years old. He's still growing. Hey, nice slick one there, dog. Yeah, 16 in Mexico. He turned when he's 16. 16 years old and you 147 pounds. Cool. At 16, 16 years old, I was 140 pounds. I ain't 140 pounds. I wasn't 140 pounds at 22, 23. You know? Oscar Brong and a ringer. Yeah, but see, did he sign with Oscar yet? I'm sure he will sign with Oscar, though. Threw that boy to the wolvesy. I said, look at them KOs, though. Yeah, it's a lot of KOs. He's got 25 KOs. I mean, I'm not down the dude can't fight. Yeah, the 3 unanimous decisions that he had, 3 of the unanimous decisions he had were when he was 17, 18 years old. Yeah, he's a good fighter. I'm not going to say he's not a good fighter. They got him listed as super welterweight, but he ain't no, but come on, man. I guess Mike Tyson, if Mike Tyson went pro at 17 years old, or yeah, say Mike Tyson went pro when he was 17, 18, I guess he could have been fighting it, you know, super middleweight, you know, super middleweight. It's a big kid. I ain't dissing the cat. I'm just saying, dude, before the internet, yeah, there's a lot of mods, man, because on occasion we get a lot of trolls. Christopher Penn, his last 15 fights were against guys with at least 6 losses. Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to do at that age. You know, I mean, he's like I said, he goes both ways. He's 21 years old, so he's got a career ahead of him, man. I mean, if he was a bum, he wouldn't beat. You can't beat Saddam Ali and be a bum. You know what I mean? There's dudes that size that Saddam Ali can beat. But Saddam Ali is a 147 pounder, straight up. If anything, Saddam Ali need to see if he can, you know, go on a low carb diet and you know, jump on some of them with them diuretics and see if he can fight at 140. You know what I mean? And be a big 140 pounder. But 147 is too big for him. I mean, 147, he can't beat any of the guys that he can't beat very many top guys at 147. Kashif Mahmoud, Ali is marketable. Marketable. I mean, not to Mexicans, he's not. But at the same time, he can't fight at 154. Curtis Anderson says Fanon Hurt already called him out already. I'm sure. Hey man, Kurt, why are you trying to beat up on a little kid, man? He ain't gonna beat Hurd, man. He ain't ready for Hurd. Now, some people say he can beat J-Rock, he can beat Gallimore, he can beat that second tier level of 154 pounders. So, you know, maybe, man. Alan Sims says Ali is a C plus fighter. Yeah, he's a C plus 154 pounder. I mean 147 pounder. He ain't no C plus 154 pounder, man. Well, yeah, C plus. Yeah, I'd give it that. There's some C fighters that some straight up, you know, blown up middleweights that he could beat because he's got speed, he can box, but that low chin, I mean, not a bigger, man. Curtis Sanders said people going overboard. Yeah, but you know that that's not. But Oscar De La Hoya, if Oscar De La Hoya winds up promoting him, then you know he's not gonna or has a co-promotional deal with whoever the guy is that's been promoting him. You know, he's not gonna get carried away. You know, he's not gonna get carried away. He might try to go get what's his name? Kell Brook. You know? J-Dog says at Fanon, he got the strap now. Munguia gets one tune-up championship fight. Then it's time to unify. Yeah, for sure, but don't count on it. Don't count on it, dog. What's going on, World Breaker Fighting? How you feel, man? Like that new video you did? That's what's up. Beautiful house, by the way. Love that. I mean, I didn't see the whole house, but I love the front of it. Marcus, I don't think so. He is a B welterweight in a rock division. Yeah, man. I mean, Saddam Ali is, hey man, Saddam Ali, 15 minutes of fame, dog. Good job. You know what I mean? Now it's time to be a trainer. I hope they paid you well for that fight. You know what I mean? Don't take the rematch. Get down. And he looked fleshy at 154. I mean, he looked fleshy at 154. It's not like he looked ripped at 154. He needs to be at 147 pounds, man. Bad intentions. For now, Lomo really impressed me, but I think 135 is his limit. If he fights Pac or another top at 140, he gets stopped. Mikey Garcia is the real test at 135, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. What's good, Philip Wright? Munguia versus Hurd. I doubt if that happens too soon, but that's a battle. That's a good 168-pound fight. You know, both those guys are big like that. I'd love to see it, though. I just don't see it go that quick. Curtis Ann says, Fanon, Munguia is signed to Fernando Beltran, Zanzar Promotions. Yeah, do you know that Kelenalo Alvarez at a point was signed with All-Star Boxing, and he ain't no more. You know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya ain't no way shamed about stealing fighters. Creating a co-promotional agreement where he can get him on HBO, Showtime. The secondary promoter can get paid until the time is for that for him to let that kid go. You know what I mean? And that's what I think would happen. Canelo used to be with somebody else. That's Oscar's MO. That's Bob Arum's modus operandi as well. Kid Mid, what it do? Let me see. Rick's Giggle, what's good, man? Said people hating on ring belt. Then it's supposed to be the lineal belt. You can't take the belt just because of a drug test. Lineal belt means you have beat the champ. Yeah, that's not a doubt about that. Well, yeah, I mean, see, the whole thing about lineal champ is it's very, very subjective thing. Because the way that I have it, I mean, and I've gone on it in depth, it should be the man who beats a man, but sometimes they just skip people, you know? Like they just skipped from Lennox Lewis over to Vladimir Klitschko for no logical reason whatsoever. I mean, I guess there's a logic to it, but it is strained logic. Really strained logic, in my opinion. Kashif Mahmoud. I think Lomo can fight 140, but no chance he goes any higher. Lomachenko cannot fight at 140. Regis Porgray, in my opinion, will beat the brakes off of Vasyl Lomachenko. That shit might look like Saddam Ali versus Munguia. If he jumps in there with somebody like, if he jumps in there with if he jumps in there with a 147 pounder that's draining down to 140 years old, to 140 pounds, no. And on top of it, they're not going to do it to him. Not until Bob Arum wants to feed him to the wolf, man. And I'm going to tell you the one guy that was not happy with that fight. Bob Arum is not feeling good after that fight. You can hear it in his voice, man. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in his matchmaker's voice. They do, I mean, in his reactions, they did not like that fight, man. They did not like that fight with Jorge Linares because that was by the hair. Do you realize that it was that fight, if it had ended, say that fight ended on a cut, that would have been a draw. If that would have ended on a cut in 10th round, that fight would have been a draw. One card had Lomachenko down. The other one had it a draw, and one had Lomachenko up by a point in that fight. Lomachenko did what Lomachenko was supposed to do by keeping that from going to the judges. But those scorecards, they were close. That fight was very, very close on the scorecards. So now you get into a situation where you got Mikey Garcia, you're going to have the same situation because Mikey Garcia is with people that are going to make sure that it's always happens that way. When it happens a lot of times. Shout out in the super chat, man. Mike Biggs Boxing, man. Hey, appreciate that. Mike Biggs said, just stop through to show some love, bro. Got a couple of vids I'm working on. Like and subscribe, people. Definitely check out my man, Mike Biggs Boxing. Like and subscribe. My man is getting it going, dog. So, Corey Lee, the ring belt is owned by Oscar now. By Oscar, no respect now. Yeah, in part. I don't think he owns the whole thing, but yeah. I mean, but you know, that's what all these belts are owned by promoters, man. Oh, wow. Beverly Rose said anything owned by Fishnet is corrupt. Yeah, no doubt about it. Lomachenko is Arum's new Pacquiao. It says Maurice Thomas. Yeah, but he seriously, man, if he, I don't think he's gonna want to do another co-promotional deal for a minute, man. Because telling you, man, when you have two promoters, when there's two promoters, those scorecards wind up that way. Where you have one judge that scores heavy one way, another judge that scores heavy the other way, and then a fighter and one that might have it somewhere in the middle. That's a tendency that I've noticed when you have cross promotional deals. Just like how you have with Oscar De La Hoya, when you had Oscar De La Hoya with Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez, you had those. One score I think was too far for Canelo. The other one was too far for Gennady Golovkin. And then you had one that was in the middle, which was a draw, and that's how you got to draw. Kid Miss said, I'm not a Bob Arum fan. And no, promoters should never have fans. Promoters should never have fans. What's going on, Mordecai? How you feeling, man? Ain't seen you in a minute. He said Manny, Terrence, and Mikey would keep dropping him and probably completely stopping him. Oh, Terrence Crawford is too much, is way too much for him. He's way too much. But see, that's what I'm saying. Lomachenko needs to be at 130 pounds. And that's no disrespect to him. He just needs to be at 130 pounds. Because that's not going to fly, man. I'm telling you, it's not going to. He's going to have to sit down on his punches a lot more. And if he starts sitting down on his punches, he can get countered by bigger dudes. You know? Ricky Giggles said, Lomachenko versus Bunny, who you got? I'd love to see the fight, but we never gonna have to worry about that. I think personally, I'm gonna get slapped for that one. But hey, man, I think Robert Easter's too big for him, and I think Robert Easter's better than Jorge Linares. He's very big. He's very active. He might walk in the ring with a 15-pound weight advantage on him. He just needs to stay back. Lomachenko needs to be at 130 pounds, man. Let me go back to some of this stuff. Let me see. Yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button. Look, we got 150 people in the chat. Let's get some likes or dislikes. But either way, let me know that you're here. Would be greatly appreciated. Let me go on to some of more of these questions. Dan Fanon picking Bunny. Hot. I mean, I'm not picking him. I'm just saying, dude, look. Anything can happen in boxing, and that dude is and Lomachenko is too small for that weight division. He's too small. Too small. But then again, you know, he's better than the two dudes that had gave Robert Easter some problem, but he's a different style fighter. I just don't like Lomachenko at 135 pounds, man. I don't. And I'm not a fan. I was never a fan of Jorge Linares. And Jorge Linares put him down. For 9, I was up till 4 a.m. talking boxing with Marlo's Corner. Yeah, man, that's a good time. I was too. I was up to 2. Eric R, you're right, for 9. Size matters. He's just so big, man. That's a 6-foot dude. I mean, he's going to have like a 6-inch height advantage, probably a 6-7-inch reach advantage. And he likes to fight on the inside. And Lomachenko is going to have to come into him. He's so big. I mean, he's just so big. The skill advantage, definitely, I would give to Lomachenko on just the raw skill advantage. But he's so big, man. He's so big. Cusho said, "True, Lomo's too small for that weight. Look what happened when Brawner when he jumped up. Yeah, you look like a star till you get up with dudes that are bigger than you, legitimately bigger than you. And here's the thing, too. If you keep fighting there, man, I'm telling you, the more fights that happen, the more people see you fight, the more they can prepare for you. I'm just the more you fight, the more people see what works. Eventually, man, people solve the puzzle. That happens with everybody except for Floyd. With the exception of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Lomachenko, let's be real. I mean, I'm not going to be, let's be real. That's my opinion. Lomachenko is not Floyd Mayweather Jr., man. He is not Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a better fighter than Lomachenko. He has more, for guys that are roughly the same size, he has more power. He's got more, he's a better fighter. And I just don't, man, I'm just telling you, he's a better fighter, man. That I don't think he can do. I don't think he can do what Floyd Mayweather Jr. did, man. Floyd's a better fighter than him, man. He's got more power. And that's the thing, man. Floyd has something where he can keep you off of him. Even at 147, he has enough crack on his punches to keep somebody honest. You know, where it's like he started it, I think he might have started at 126 pounds, right? I think he started at the same weight division. Let me check out Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd started at that weight division at a younger age. So he's a bigger guy, right? So Floyd Mayweather Jr., let me see what he started at. I'm pretty sure his first belt he won. I just go for the first. Yeah, his first belt was at super featherweight against Gennaro Hernandez, but I'm pretty sure that they fought. I'll see where he fought Reggie Sanders. Reggie Sanders, I'm pretty sure that he fought Reggie Sanders. Actually, I need to go back. I'm sorry. I'm being a little slow about this, but I'm pretty sure he fought Reggie Sanders at, it doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure that was at, is at featherweight. I'm pretty sure that was at featherweight. I'm almost positive that she was at featherweight. But anyway, he turned pro when he was 19 years old. You know, it's like 5 years earlier. For now, people are saying Lomo's an all-time great already, but we can't even fathom him moving up beyond 135. To prove that, expectations for certain fighters is very unfair compared to others. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Beverly Rose. I'm going to change subject. I think people need to steal the narrative. Now here, oh yeah, Roy Babbitt. What's going on in Lake Chuck, man? Underrated Dark. What's good, man? For now, you heard Klitschko is training AJ now? Nah, I didn't hear that, man. That'd be a smart move for him. That'd be a smart move. He needs something because he got to come better, man, than the way he fought in those last two fights. But he's probably gonna. What's Klitschko gonna make him one of them like mugging, hugging type of fighters? That's just not gonna work against Klitschko or guys that are bigger than him. Not that mugging, hugging, lay on you style. But nah, I heard that the Klitschko was training for a fight, like he's considering a comeback. I didn't hear that. I don't even know how, unless you're talking about Vitaly Klitschko, I don't see how he got enough money to pay Vladimir to do that shit. Darby James, exactly, Fanon, just create your own narrative and combat the false narrative. Yeah, but see, here's my thing, man. I just think you should just take back the slick style because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make, not they, I mean, the undefinable they, right? It's by trying to say that that Lomachenko was something that you've never seen before is really doing disservice to that style of fighting. Because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of fighters that fought there's nothing that he's doing that hasn't been done before. A 30-year-old man that has won three weight divisions, that's happened before, right? but they trying to couch it in, you know, he's done it in 12 fights, but he didn't. He did that after he fought 600 fights and won 2 Olympic gold medals, and he turned pro at 25 years old. It's not like you compare a guy that's 25 years old with that much experience to somebody turning pro at 18 and saying nobody that's ever turned pro at 18 has done that, all of that by the time that they turn 21. You know, it's just not a fair comparison. And also, you can't compare somebody like how fast somebody gets 3 belts to the vast majority of boxing history, because there weren't 3 belts before. You know, Sugar Ray Robinson never had an opportunity to win 3 belts, that quickly, because there was only one champion. You know, the equivalent of being a champion being a champion today would be being the number 2 or number 3 the number 2 or 3 contender back in 1940. Kenny M said, I don't know about that. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm going to tell you, seriously, look at Floyd here. I'll prove this point. Okay. I'm going to look at how many champions were there in heavyweight boxing when Muhammad Ali won the belt? How many champions were there? How many championship belts could you win? And I'll wait for the answer to that question. How many were there? How many heavyweight champions were there when Muhammad Ali won his belt? Nobody's going to answer that question. Maybe I'm running a little bit below where I thought it was. The answer was 1. There was 1 heavyweight championship. Yeah, Roy, 1. So, you know who could have been a heavyweight champion? Oh, no worry. Oh, that's cool, Kenny M, but I'm going to roll with it anyway. Do you know how many people could, because it works for the argument. Do you know how many people could have won heavyweight championships? If there was more than 1 heavyweight championship, do you realize that Muhammad Ali might have won a version of the heavyweight championship when he was 19? I'm going to go to Muhammad Ali, right? When did Muhammad Ali become a top 4 heavyweight? If Muhammad Ali in box rec, when did he become a top 4 heavyweight? I got to do box rec on this. But say he fought. Okay, Muhammad Ali box rec. When did he? Let me see when he fought. Damn. Oops. When Muhammad Ali, I'll try to go back to when Muhammad Ali first fought a top contender. Okay. Back in. All right, so today he beat Henry Cooper. He beat Archie Moore in 1962, right? Which was about 2 years before he beat Sonny Liston. He very well could have won the WBO belt against Archie Moore. Went on and fought Doug Jones for the WBA and beat Sonny Liston for the WBO and WBC belt, right? So by the time he was 20 years old in 21 fights, he could have had 4 belts. in 21 fights in a heavyweight division at 20 years old. You know? That's just, you can't compare that. That's somebody coming up with a record that never existed. Right? That you can't, it's kind of like when Lennox Lewis said what's the guy's name? The commentator for Steve Farhood said didn't count Lennox Lewis as a unified champion. And Lennox Lewis is like, what are you talking about? I won the WBO wasn't a major belt. Who the hell cared about? Nobody cared about the WBO belt when I was winning, when I was fighting. If that was a major championship belt, I'd have slapped the piss out of whoever it was that had it. No worries. I give you a fight, take that belt. Matter of fact, stick it in the mail before you sign, because it's a wrap. You know? So those are made up records. You know what I mean? It's like the Guinness Book of World Records. They get paid for coming up with records. I mean, who was the biggest dog ever to have had fur shaved off of its left ear? You know, who cares about that? The fact of the matter is that Vasily Lomachenko is 30 years old when he in 30 years of boxing, or not 30 years, say it's 26 years of boxing or 28, just 20 years of boxing, just go to 10. At 20 years of boxing, he won his 30th, he won belts in 3 weight divisions. Where you have somebody like, what did Muhammad Ali do when he was 30 years old? Muhammad Ali was born in they got a death, 1942. So he turned 30 in 1972. So in 1972, Muhammad Ali had already defended the heavyweight championship. He was undefeated and it had defended the heavyweight championship. He get stripped in 67. So he had won the belt against Sonny Liston. And he defended it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had defended it 9 times. So he'd won that. He was the unified heavyweight champion of the world and had defended it 9 times by the time he was 30. So pretty much by the time Muhammad Ali was 30, he won the heavyweight championship. He did more before the age of 30. That's what he did at 30. He was the king of boxing for 9 fights at the age of 30. And he had already beaten 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. Right? So it's apples and oranges, man. It's apples and oranges. Anyway, but Lomachenko's a great fighter. So I just think people should talk about Lomachenko like, look, man, this is a great fighter that we have today. And he's got a great fight. Like, there's a lot of really positive things that can be said about Lomachenko. Lomachenko is beaten. Number one, he's beaten this idea that you got to take punches straight to the fucking head in order to get some type of publicity. And that's the double standard, right? Like, he's exposing a double standard. What happened to you needed to sit there and exchange punches with people, right? Take 2 to get 1 in order to, be an exciting fighter, right? There's other guys hit, don't get hit. But Lomachenko was more like hit you a bunch of times, get hit. Because I don't see him as being all that elusive. He's not very elusive. But he does let his hands go like constantly. Miss Boxing Fantastic. Loma is a good fighter, just happened to get his fruits before his labor, unfortunately. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But he hasn't really got the fruits yet because, for a guy that small, he has, though. Yeah, he's a really good fighter. No doubt about it. Was Linares able to continue the fight or did he get up? No, he got hit with a body. He got hit with a lever shot and couldn't stand up. '78 Sports TV said Loma was the greatest fighter known to man. All praise the Lord Loma. Yeah. Let it get to 12 fights though, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you. Let it get to 20 fights. Let it get to 20 fights. But no, he didn't quit. He got knocked out with a body shot. A nice shot to the liver. I don't think that dude quit. I think he got knocked out. He got hit. His body froze up. His muscles wouldn't stand up. He's in a lot of pain. And that was it. I don't think he quit. He didn't make that dude quit. Unless you mean the good old fashioned way is, and he hit him and he couldn't get up. That's what I think. But at the same time, man, look, I gotta walk the line with this dude, man. Like, I tried to walk the line before, like just saying, look, the guys that are fans of his, I'm trying to tell you, man, if people would just support Lomachenko and say, hey, man, Lomachenko fights like a black dude. We like that. Lomachenko fights like a black dude. He fights like Pernell Whitaker. He's like not quite as good as Lomachenko. But we like him, man. We like him. Let Lomachenko take his ass on to what's the name? What's the name of that channel? What's the New York radio show, man? That guy did like Canelo, not Canelo, but the Breakfast Club. Have the Breakfast Club get Lomachenko and an interpreter on. Put his ass in a couple rap videos talking about Lomachenko, and all these dudes will run for the hills like, we don't like him anymore. We can't have you liking him, you know? Oh man, I'm telling you, just adopt him. Like, look, man, Lomachenko can fight. Yep, he's a European dude that can fight. That style is attractive. Charlemagne the God, yeah. But have Charlemagne the God put him on there. 78, no, man, no worries, man. It's all good. I knew what you meant. Hey, I do shit all the time. I thought his English had really improved. Yeah, it has improved. But I mean, you can still, hey man, put him on the Breakfast Club, man. And get that dude his pub, start having him hang out with, have some black folk around him, dog. Trust me, they'll run away from his ass like the plague. He'll be like the Eminem of boxing, which would get him a lot more money, by the way. But they don't want to take it that route. Man, I did hear this one guy say something though. Oh man, my goodness, World Breaker Fighter said he the fluffer of sports. This one guy said something, man, that I was like, wow, that is what you call a microaggression. One guy said, and this is like a martial arts channel. He said it showed a cultural shift in boxing. I was like, a cultural shift? What? And he started talking about all the fighters that, a cultural shift. What's the cultural how somebody explain to me how Lomachenko is a cultural shift? What's the difference? What's the cultural shift? First of all, cultural shift from what to what? Crazy. But that's what's what you call a microaggression. That's a microaggression. He's basically saying cultural. Cultural means, the way that I interpret it is that you don't have like Floyd Mayweather Jr. who's flashing his cars and being too black, So therefore, it's a cultural shift. Oh no, that dude wasn't. He was hiding it, but it's just, you can just take a whiff. It's in the air for that particular dude. I think a lot of guys just like Lomachenko. I mean, I like his skills. No joke about it. I like his skills. I think the dude's highly skilled. But at the same time, yeah, no doubt about it, World Breaker Fighting. I said, hell no, and them tighty whiteys rolling on the floor, being passive aggressive. I don't know what that is. You said it earlier. Lomo Blacks is like a black fighter. Culture shift is my take. Yeah, I mean, he fights like a guy that wants to let his hands go. Oh, Fahim Sator said Ukraine is in Asia. All of that's Asia, though. I hate to break that. I mean, all of it's Asia. All of it. Britain is in Asia, strictly speaking, or China is in Europe. One or the other. You pick. But one is in the other, and the other one's phony. Eastern Europe, there is no such thing, man. It's all Asia, dog. Europe is in Asia. That's better what it is. Either Europe is in Asia or Asia is in Europe. One or the other, man. One or the other. Okay? Because there's no break in land, dog. There's no break in land. Either Europe is a portion of the Asian continent or Asia is part of the European continent. One or the other, dog. One or the other. There ain't no land break, dog. There's no land break. I don't mean it, you can name it what you want to name it. You know what I mean? Sal Gutierrez, I'm just saying. It's just either Europe or it's Asia. It's one thing. Go to the map and look. There's no land break. Theoretically, you can walk. Theoretically, you can walk from China to Britain. There's no land break. That's one landmass. It's a peninsula. The portion, whatever you want to call it, is that Europe, what they call Europe, that's a peninsula. That's like saying that it's pretty much like saying that Georgia Florida, Georgia, and Alabama is its own distinct continent. I'm just saying. I'm not tripping. Oh, that's funny. To John, that's funny. Hey, man, look at the. Hey, I'm just saying, look at the map. Maybe the Asians. Hey, maybe Chinese people are European. It could be either one. You know what I mean? It's either one. I'm not trying to steal Europe from people. I'm just saying, hey, man. Then Central America is in America? No, it's not. Those are two distinct land masses, man. Those are two distinct land masses. Please check out what they call, what's that canal? The Panama Canal. Those are two different continents. They are two bodies separated by water. I'm just telling you, dog. And they can say, you can say Australia is not an island. It could be, that's just some, that you can go either way with it. It's just what you define it as. It's a word. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Shoot, quiet as kept. You can walk from Africa to London. I mean, you can walk from Africa to, I don't think there's anywhere in the world that you can't walk to. Because you can go up through the Bering Straits, up through Europe, up through the Bering Straits. It's everything pretty much is all the land masses of the continents are connected, except for maybe Antarctica and those. But whatever. Hey, have it like you want it, dog. I'm not disrespecting Europe at all. I'm just saying, look at the map, dog. I didn't draw the map. I didn't draw the map. US and Canada, yeah, that's United States. That's the North American continent. That's what they call it. But, it's just a definition. It's just a word. But on the real, that particular section of Europe, what they call Europe, that's not a continent. It's just not. It's a peninsula of that landmass. So either just name the whole thing Europe, name the whole thing Asia to be consistent. Other than that, it's not a separate landmass, dog. Fanon, you saying flat Earth? No, I'm not saying flat Earth. I'm just saying that you can walk up, that you can go up. I forget, it's not the Bering Straits, but that's how they said that people got to Europe, got to America through the Bering Straits, which I don't necessarily believe. I think that people got on a boat and went that same way they got from the Africa to the Caribbean islands or whatever. It's just what it is, man. Yeah, gold. Everything was together before. At a certain point in time, it was one land. It all broke off, according to what people say. But anyway, man, I don't want to get into that. It is what it is. That's just something I use every once in a while when people want to say, hey, man, this continent, that continent. You ever want to get your kid in trouble and get them suspended from school in America? Tell your kid that and tell him to challenge his geography teacher and have them get pissed off. Professor, exactly how is that? Kurskar said Europe is Asia Minor, is all Asia. Pretty much. Perfection, what's good, man? Oh, Philip Wright said, take it back to Eurasia. Hey, man, whatever you want to name it, dog. I'm just trying to say that that's one landmass. Fanon, there you go with that logic and truth telling shit. Man, cats be getting hot, dog. People getting hot. I'm just telling you. Africa separated by Spain by 14 miles. Yeah, it's just, hey, man, it is what it is, man. Bad Intention said, ESPN be like Loma threw a 4-punch combination. We have never seen that. Yeah, exactly. But, man, they selling it. Go ahead and sell it, dog. Go ahead and sell it. Go ahead and sell it. I know you're selling it. But, but just for the sake of people as they mature as boxing fans, understand that if you mature if you're a casual fan that are getting sold on that idea, then just understand that eventually you're going to be upset. That's a road that's leading you to disappointment. I'm telling you, because what's going to happen is you're going to really buy into Lomachenko, right? And you're going to say, this is, I see you, Hop. Much love on the Pangea. I can't pronounce that. Timothy Bradley sold all the way out. Hey, he's getting enough pay. He's getting enough money too. He works for them, man. That's his job. You know what I mean? What's going on, Mike G? How you feeling, man? That's his job, man. I'm not gonna be mad at that dude for doing his job. He knows. He's saying the stuff. He's like, man, I never seen this happen. He's got all kind of caveats on that too. But here's the thing. That's why I say if people, when you go with this route, you're going to be upset, man. I've been this way before, man. I've been this way. I've seen this before, dude. I've seen it before. Because back in the mid 80s, like the late 80s, early 90s, it was Mike Tyson was greater than Ali. That's what they sold. That's what they were selling people on, man. That's what they were selling people on. They were selling people on the fact that that nobody ever could beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson won the heavyweight championship when he's 20 years old, knocking everybody out in the first round, and nobody could ever beat him. I was there for that, man. I mean, so I've experienced it. Who's telling? How many people are saying Mike Tyson is a greater fighter than Ali now? Next to nobody is saying that. But if you were listening to HBO at that time, you were listening to what people were saying, reading the boxing magazines. I mean, doing that stuff. Everybody was saying that he was better than Muhammad Ali, and he couldn't have lasted. He'd knock Muhammad Ali out. Nobody said that, man. You know what I mean? Nobody says that anymore. And if you go by what these people are trying to sell you, instead of letting Lomachenko fight, enjoy what he does in that fight, wait for the next fight and enjoy that fight, right? But you try to put him into some historical context before his career is over, you're going to be upset because you're going to put this dude super high, and then something either is going to happen to him or somebody else is going to come along and they're going to blow him up like that. It's only the special fighters, the great fighters. This is why I think you got to hold off on calling people great. The great people, the great fighters are the ones that you still remember. Sugar Ray Robinson is a great fighter because you remember people. Most people alive today were not alive when he fought. He has not been in a boxing ring in over 50 years. He hasn't fought a fight in almost damn near 60 years. And everybody still knows who he is. That's what great is. Great, a bigger size than everybody. What happens to these other guys, man? What happened to Acelino Freitas? Do you guys even know who Acelino Freitas is? Most people don't know who Acelino Freitas is. Most people won't know who Edwin Valario is. Most people won't know these guys. And most people won't know unless Lomachenko does something where he deserves it. I'm telling you, every so-called record, the so-called records that he has are going to get broken because they're going to set somebody up to break them. They'll be like, okay, great. We just need to make sure we get the next guy out of Europe. We're going to make sure he gets a title fight against somebody in his first fight. And we're going to make sure, because it's going to happen. Somebody's going to get a major championship belt in their first fight. Not because they're the greatest. And then all of a sudden that will be the measuring stick where he's greater than everybody because the guy didn't turn fucking pro till he's 30 years old. And he fought a guy like Saddam Ali, who was fighting who's fighting two weight classes up and ain't very good, but he beat him for a tertiary belt, for a tertiary belt. And all of a sudden he's going to be greater because he did that than Sugar Ray Robinson was, or Sugar Ray Leonard was. You know what I mean? Because it's like you ever listen to the NBA where NBA talks about all of these records that are breaking? Oh, Steph Curry has the greatest. I mean, they make up fucking stats. You know what I'm saying? They be making up stats. The greatest percentage of free throws made in game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final when the team was up by 20 points by a left-handed shooter who's ball-headed. That'll be the next record. Because all they got to do, and they're going to divide, okay, what's different about him? Oh, he's better than LeBron James because, he's because he's 6'6.5", not 6'8", and he's left-handed. He's not right-handed. And he was in the East Coast, not the West Coast. And his mother's name was Lily. And, you know, he had also been a snooker player before he transferred over. Any type of shit. They just going to come up with anything to make a record for. That's why I'm saying, like, damn, World Breaker, I didn't know that happened. Yeah, stats are made up. I mean, they're not, the stats aren't made up, but the way you divide it is. It's super subjective. Like, why would you give credit to this? Like the fastest person to ever win three belts. Is that true? So, for example, he just won. Damn, I just messed up my thing. I'm still going here. So I'm just gonna do something real fast. And I might be wrong, but I'm gonna see how old Manny Pacquiao was when he got his third when he got his division, when he won his third division. He might have been over 30. But I got to get back on this live stream before I do that. So let me say, yeah, Lomachenko's 30. He turned 30 last month. Lomachenko's 30 years old. He's not young, dude. So Manny Pacquiao box rec. All right. So Manny Pacquiao now is 39 years old. 9 years ago would have been 2009, right? So 2009, in 2009, he beat Manny Pacquiao. He beat Miguel Cotto for the WBO welterweight championship, right? So when he was 30, he had won belts at, was that 147? That's 147. So he had won belts at, he had won, and his first belt was what, at bantamweight? So he had won flyweight. I'm sorry. He won flyweight. So flyweight, super bantamweight, featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, super. Now he won the IBO, so we won't count that against Ricky Hatton. But the way they do it, shit, count 6. The IBO. He had won a title in 7 weight divisions by the time he was the same age as Lomachenko is now. So how in the world, Lomachenko is the same age Manny Pacquiao is, and he just won his third. Manny Pacquiao had won 7 or 8 of them by the time he's the same age. So how did Lomachenko get more? How did he get to where he is faster than Manny Pacquiao got to where Manny Pacquiao was? Manny Pacquiao had already won. How old was Manny Pacquiao when he won 3? Just how old was he, right? He won the WBC flyweight in 98, right? In 1998 was 10. Damn, that's a long ass time ago. 98 was 20 years ago, right? 98 was 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, Manny Pacquiao was 19. Is that right? 1998, he won the flyweight championship, WBC flyweight, when he's 19. So 19, then he won flyweight, super bantam, flyweight, super bantamweight, then featherweight title in 2004. So he's 25 years old when he won his third title. He's 25 years old. He's 25 years old when he did that. That's 5 years younger. Manny Pacquiao won belts in 3 divisions at an earlier age than Lomachenko turned pro. That's what I'm saying. These records these guys try to hand out are just nonsense. And you're not going to, and the same people that said and the same people throwing this shit around are the same people that said Manny Pacquiao was the greatest thing ever. The fighter of the decade, right? He's the fighter of the decade. He's, one of the same line that was being served on Vasily Lomachenko was being served on Manny Pacquiao. And Vasily Lomachenko has not accomplished what Manny Pacquiao has yet. And quite honestly, he never will. Yeah, Moran Mangas, Manny Pacquiao went pro at 16 years old. Yeah, he was a kid. Exactly. He was a kid. Lomachenko went pro when he was a grown-ass man. He's 25 years old. Look at these guys. There's an advantage to having 600 amateur fights, 2 Olympic going through the Olympics 2 times. Those fights count, man. It's not like he was twiddling his thumbs and just picked up boxing. That I'm saying, but the point that I bring up with that is, which is the real record? A guy that wins, one guy has 3, he's 30 years old and he's won belts. Yeah, he's on my pound for pound list. Fanon, is Lomachenko not on? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's on my pound for pound list. Of course he is. Without a doubt he is. Said, I know my shit. Hey, yeah, he went pro at 16. What's the difference though? What's more I mean, which is more impressive? A 19-year-old kid winning the flyweight championship, or a guy with 600 amateur fights and two Olympic gold medals, turning pro at 25 years old, fighting guys that are 3-4 years younger than he is? I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's subjective. I mean, I'm not saying that what Lomachenko is doing isn't impressive. Clearly, it's impressive. But you don't have to look very far to find somebody that you can say has done what he's done. I mean, let's look at Floyd Mayweather Jr. and how old Floyd Mayweather Jr. was when Floyd Mayweather Jr. won his 3rd title, right? Floyd he won it at super featherweight, lightweight, super lightweight. 2005, that's 14 years ago. 14 years ago, what is he, 39? He's, god dang, 13 years ago, or 2005, he was 28 years old. He's 28 years old. That's 2 years younger than Lomachenko is right now. Or he's 25, thanks. He's 25. He's not 30. Oh, Kasif Mahmoud hit a top 5 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Vasyl. I'm not going to do it in an order other than I have Terrence Crawford number 1, with Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko. I don't know why I'm having a hard time. Errol Spence Jr. I want to do Canelo, but Canelo is, because Canelo has this issue. I'll jump off Canelo. I'm forgetting, man. I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh, Mikey Garcia. Yeah, without a doubt. I wouldn't hop. I'm not going to do Golovkin because I think Golovkin just got a draw against a smaller guy. Trap Media says Spence stops Lomo at any weight class. That's not a fair fight. That's just not a fair fight. You know what I mean? That's not a fair fight. Lomachenko, but yeah, I mean Lomachenko, Crawford, Spence, Mikey Garcia, and yeah, I would do Usyk, but I'm either with Usyk or Danny Garcia, man. And I'm saying Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia is really a 140 pounder, and I think he's Keith Thurman. I'll throw Keith Thurman in there till he loses. Take out Danny Garcia, put Keith Thurman. But that's about the best I can do for it, man. There's some Anthony Joshua. No, he's a heavyweight. I'm not putting any heavyweights in the pound for pound. They don't deserve. Anthony Joshua doesn't need pound for pound. Putting Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder or Luis Ortiz on a pound for pound list is an insult to them because they have reality. They don't need fantasy. You got Ward. I mean, if you count Ward, I put Ward number 1. I mean, Darby, you're going to count Ward. Ward's not fighting. But if you want to count Ward, then it's Ward number 1, Terrence Crawford number 2, Lomachenko number 3, Terrence Errol Spence Jr. number 4, and shit. Canelo or Jamal Charlo. Not Tank yet. I need to see a couple more fights out of Tank. Pop Culture says Lomachenko stops Tank. Let's be real. I'm not going to be real on that. I don't know that that's the case, man. I don't know if that's a face. Oh, man. Artemis here said Fanon Bison Clinic just dropped a video stating Joshua and Povetkin's next. Eddie Hearn in Russia negotiating. Yeah, man. They're I mean, that you can see that coming. If that's the case, no doubt about it. Pac Ward replaced Floyd due to retirement times. I mean, I would get Ward, no doubt about it, if Ward was still fighting. I mean, but Ward retired. So, but if Ward came out, I'm going to put him right back on top. I'm not going to do people like Floyd. They did Floyd. Floyd took a year off and they dropped him. You knew he came back, dog. Not at all. Tank will mangle Lomo. I mean, I'm telling you, man, give it 2 years and he's not going to fight. He better fight him now. Because Tank's a special fighter, man. I'm trying to tell you, Tank's a special fighter, man. Tank is a special fighter. The Wonderful Life at Bob J. Wilder could fight at cruiserweight. Nah. No, he can't take another 17 pounds off. He couldn't take another 17 pounds off. I mean, he's 217. He's a good way from cruiser. Cruiser is below 200. Deontay Wilder can't get down to 200. 6'7", 190. That would be just terrible. Ward versus Bellew would be, yeah, man, but Tony Bellew need to retire, man, just like Ward. And Tony Bellew will lose to Andre Ward. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I put him there. I mean, I said, but I mean, I like them. I just want to see them get the fights that they're asking for. You know? I want to see them get the fights that they're asking for. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Wilder at a cruiserweight, yeah, no way. He's just too big, man. He would have to he'd have to lose a leg to get down that small. He's a big dude, man. He's got a big frame, man. He's got skinny arms, but I mean skinny legs, but he's a big dude. A very, very big dude. Yeah, man, Mr. McEwen, I agree with that, man. He said promoters are more important than the fighters. They're looking to be the face, not the fighters. Exactly. It's a damn ridiculous, man. But people fall for that nonsense, man. People fall for that. Eric R, man, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the compliment, man. Tank versus Lomo would be crazy. Marlon Sims says Tank versus Lomo would be crazy. Tank got speed and pop, so Lomo would really be tested in my mind. But if he can take a punch, he wins hands down in my book. For now, I'm saying, man, the dude's 30 years old. Is Andre Ward's 34? Thought he was a little older. But okay, yeah, I thought he was older than that, man. I don't know why I thought he was 36. But Andre Ward's not the greatest. Andre Ward is, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Yes, little 9'5", heavyweight, no doubt about it. Heavyweight is all that and then some, man. Heavyweight is the deal, man, because it's not even a weight class. Strictly speaking, little 9'5", heavyweight's not a weight class. Everybody can fight it as long as they can get their fights sanctioned and they can get the fight commissioned. What's going on, Dana Jones? How you feeling, man? Anybody can fight at heavyweight, man. There ain't no rules against these dudes fighting some middleweight going up there and fighting Luis Ortiz. Oh, Hobbs says, should Jaime Munguia's name be mentioned at least? I think he deserves a shout out. I mean, he's out there with a bunch of prospects, man. He's out there he's a prospect to me. He's got a belt, but he's a prospect. That's what I think. He's a prospect. Some people a lot of people, rightfully so. I mean, good argument. I can't really argue with that. With what they say that he's got a belt, he's not a prospect. But you know, he got the belt off Saddam Ali, a cat that is moved, it is a weight class too high for him when he's 2 weight classes down. You know, it is what it is though. He did his thing. He did what he's supposed to, he did what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? I thought I got a text message from somebody. He did what he's supposed to do. Fanon, Jacobs versus Charles, honest prediction, please. Why would I lie? Oh, I'm gonna lie about that prediction, Pack Rip TV. I don't get why you want to ask that. Just what do you mean an honest prediction? I don't get that. I can't. I mean, do you mean to just use that word? Just no, you didn't accidentally use it. Put it in all bowls, dog. Come on, man. There are 6'4" welterweights. Yeah. Dana Jones said, Fanon, I asked one of my Mexican fighting friends about him, and he said this dude is the next big thing coming out of Mexico. Canelo replacement for Golden Boy. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Dude can fight, man. He's a big dude, man. Heavyweight can come any weight they want. Big Baby comes in at 330. Yeah. And hey, so you can have a 190-pound guy fighting a 300-pounder. So I'm saying, I don't want to even I just don't want to insult heavyweights by putting them on a list with a bunch of dudes that they can't beat them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to hypothesize about whether or not I don't have to make a hypothesis about whether or not Lomachenko beats Anthony Joshua. I know the answer to that question. Rhythmic Pugilistic says, Fanon, what do you think about David Benavidez, Khalid Plant? Oh, man, David Benavidez, man. I think Khalid Plant, man, got to learn to sit down on his punches. He moves too much. Shout out to my man, the Boxing Clinic and more. I mean, sometimes I was on a panel with him and he talked about it, so I'm using his words, but shout out to him. His thoughts on it, I agree with, that the cat moves too much. Pack and Rip TV, Charlo destroys Jacobs. Yeah, that's what I would have predicted. Being honest, I wouldn't have lied about that. I'm not just gonna say Jacobs. I think Jacobs beats Charlo. I don't know if he destroys him. I think Danny Jacobs has some good wrinkles in his game, but I just, I think that 1-2. I think that 1-2 of Selecki was just finding him too easy, and he was a lot bigger than Selecki, and Selecki didn't have really anything else to go to. Corey Lee Boxing. Usyk is the best fighter in the world right now. Hey, Corey Lee, who you got? Deontay Wilder or Usyk? Because if he's the best fighter in the world, he should be able to move up to heavyweight. It's just one weight class up. He's really a heavyweight, by the way. He really is a heavyweight. Who you got, him or I'm messing with you though, right? Don't give your answer, dog. Don't give your answer. Because I know you're gonna say Usyk, but don't say Usyk, man. Don't say Usyk. Can Ali stand a right hand from Wilder? Saddam Ali? No. All right, man. We gotta toll the bell. You know when they tell we gotta ring the bell for Corey Lee's opinion. 10 bell, because his common sense has died. Ding. Ding. We rang the 10 bells on that logic, dog. Usyk beats Wilder twice on Sunday. Man, that dude is gonna go to sleep so fast. It will be ridiculous. He beat Joe Joyce. Yeah, he's a heavyweight. That's Joe Joyce. That's Joe Joyce. That's Joe Joyce. That is not Deontay Wilder, man. That is not Deontay Wilder. That's Joe Joyce. Man, sometimes, Corey, man, you got to come on, man. I'm a big fan, dude, of like, who am I a fan of, man? I'm a fan of Errol Spence Jr., right? I like what's good at Lil Bracy. I mean, seriously, man, I really do like, I'm a fan of Errol Spence Jr. I'm looking forward to his fights. But man, come on, man. I'm not gonna take him over. I'm not gonna take him over David Benavidez, man. Or no, better yet, I'm not gonna take him over Gilberto Ramirez, man. I'm just not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna. Come on, man. I'm not gonna do that, man. Because it's just not realistic. Usyk versus Usyk versus Usyk had a difficult time with better, was it not better Biev, but was it better Biev? Who's the not better Biev? Who's the guy that Usyk just fought, man? Nah, Usyk is a cruiserweight. Usyk's a cruiserweight. I mean, I'm just not going to do that, man. Would I take Errol Spence over Jared Hurd? No, I'm not. I think I'd love to see the fight, but I'm not going to do that. No, because Jared Hurd is a 168 pounder, man. He's just squeezing down into a weight class. I know you told me the truth, man. I told you the truth. Next time, don't tell me the truth, dog. Next time, lie to Bradis. He had a hard time with Bradis. He's not going to beat Jarrell Miller, man. Usyk is not going to beat Big Baby Miller. He would lose to Big Baby Miller. That's too much for him, in my opinion. Big Baby Miller beats Usyk. Huey Fury beats Usyk. Huey Fury. I'm not even talking about Tyson Fury. Huey Fury beats him. That's a heavyweight I like, by the way. I know I'm giving the right analogy, dude. I'm giving I gave the analogy that I meant. It's a little dude, man. It's a little dude. There is easily as much space between Errol Spence Jr. Between Usyk and Deontay Wilder as there is Usyk and Deontay Wilder as there is between Gilberto Ramirez and Errol Spence Jr. There's that big a size difference, man. You're talking about a dude, there's about a 4-inch height advantage. And when they get into the ring, there's probably a 20 to 30 pound weight difference. Usyk is a 200 pounder. He's a 200 pounder. And you got a 6'7" cat with a 70, who knows, fucking 80-inch reach. He's too big, dude. Dude is too big. Let me see how big Deontay Wilder's reach is, man. That's what I'm saying. The heavyweights, Deontay Wilder, there is no weight division. I know that he's a one weight division down. Usyk is just one weight division down, but he is a way smaller than you're talking about a guy with an 83-inch reach, 6'7", 80-inch reach, with knockout power in both hands, concussive knockout power in both hands. Let me go Usyk for the sake of doing it. I'm telling you, it's that big a size difference. Usyk, Boxrec. Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk is listed as 6'3". He's 4 inches. He's 4 inches smaller. He's 4 inches smaller if he's really 6'3". If he's 6'3". But say he's 6'3", there's a 4-inch height advantage. Might be a 4.5-inch height advantage. There's a disadvantage. There's a 5-inch reach disadvantage. There's probably a when everything's said and done, because Deontay Wilder weighed in at what, 217 with the chest cold. Usually comes in around 225 pounds during the weigh-in. So he might fight at about 230 pounds. That's a 30-pound. It's a 4-inch height disadvantage, a 5 to 6-inch reach disadvantage, and a 30 to 35-pound weight disadvantage. There's a massive power discrepancy. They're not even remotely near the same size guy, dog. I mean, I'm telling you, they're not even remotely the same size. Yes, please all. Hey, yeah, let's stop the Yeah, let's stop the penis talk, dog. I don't give a shit about these dudes' things. However, but it is what it is. I mean, I would say, hey man, that's a very Usyk is the same size as who? Usyk is not the same size as Deontay Wilder, man. Not even close. He ain't nowhere near the same size as Usyk is nowhere near the same size as Deontay Wilder. Remember Wilfredo Benitez was 17-year-old champion in the boxing community back then, was mature enough to know not to quibble over BS pound for pound ratings. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, dude, Usyk is nowhere near the size of Deontay Wilder, man. He's nowhere near that size. Okay. You can say he cuts weight. Cool. He cuts weight. Does he cut length? Unless he cuts length, is he cutting 4 or 5 inches off of the top of his head? Is he cutting 5 inches off his hands? No, dog. No. Did you see the size difference? The frame length and size difference between Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder? Dude, Usyk is taller than Hay and 1 inch shorter than Povetkin. And what is going to happen if David Hay fights Deontay Wilder? He's going to get his ass laid out, dog. And right, Usyk is Bellew size. Bellew told you. Did you hear when Tony Bellew said about Deontay Wilder and why he's not fighting Deontay Wilder? He said, yeah, he thought that he could fight Deontay Wilder until he met him. And then he shook his hand. He shook his hand, or he gave him, like, you know, the handshake where you hug, a hug handshake. And he said Deontay Wilder's hands wrapped all the way around him like he was a little kid. Dude, Deontay Wilder is a big, big man. I'm telling you. He's a big man. Dog, I'm just trying to tell you. Hey, he beat Valuev. Valuev is not Deontay Wilder. Hey, beat he's not Deontay Wilder, man. I'm trying to tell you. If Valuev was Deontay Wilder, Hay wouldn't have beat him. Hay would never got in the ring with him. Okay? Not a chance, man. Not a chance. That is a very, very big man, dog. Yeah, Mike McGee said Fernandez is a waste of time, bro. I know. Come on, man. I'm just trying to tell you. Hey, Alex Santos said, Bellew seems confident to fight Fury, who's taller than Wilder. Right. He seems confident. But how many times have you seen Tyson Fury concuss some damn body? Come on, man. I'm trying to tell you. Deontay Wilder is not you don't play with that, man. Okay? The dude, look, Anthony Joshua just got offered $50 million guaranteed to fight him, and he had second thoughts. Okay? I'm trying to tell you. He had second thoughts, man, and that dude is 6'6", 250, 260 pounds. And he has second thoughts. See, don't believe this nonsense cats say about Deontay Wilder. You do not accidentally concuss 40 heavyweights, man. With that awkward style, you never even know where the shit's coming from, man. I'm trying to tell you. Don't do it, man. Don't believe that. Do not believe the anti-hype. Okay? Don't believe the anti-hype. That kid, you have Vander Holyfield, and I'm gonna get off pretty soon, man, because I gotta roll on my day. This has been a lot of fun, man. Appreciate everybody coming to the live stream. But you have Vander Holyfield talking about him like, the thing about this dude is, you don't know what he's gonna do. You can train for other people. You can't train for Deontay Wilder. You don't know what he's gonna do. He's like, he don't even know what he's gonna do. He might just hit you with some shit. Some crap coming from 9 feet in the damn air, looping up around the back of your head, dog. Hell no. It ain't an accident, dog. Okay? It's not an accident. Black Attack Circle said you better have the best medical and life insurance available fighting Deontay Wilder. I'm telling you. Did you see what he did to Luis Ortiz? His head? Did you see how his head moved. He didn't just hit him and like, oh, what happened? He moved his head from the left shoulder all the way to the right shoulder, and then it bounced back in the middle and dude dropped to a knee drooling. And that's Luis Ortiz, man. Luis Ortiz is no joke. I'm telling you, man, y'all people lunching, man. Don't lunch. That dude can fight. But see what people do. And yeah, Spilka. Oh, he's up on the cars. These guys are up on the cars. Man, he ain't letting it go to the cars. If you get hit, you gone. If you get hit, you're gone, dog. Now, could somebody outbox him? Yeah, you got to stay. You got to make sure he does not hit you over 12 rounds. How do you beat Deontay Wilder? Do not let him hit you for 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? How does that work? Yes, make sure he don't hit you. Because if he hits you, it could be over at any time. Anytime. And don't lunch. See, even with that's what I saw with Ortiz. Do you realize that Ortiz was probably going to get knocked out in the 5th? It was like he got knocked down and hurt in the 5th, but at the bell. And then he had time to recover and go back to boxing because Deontay Wilder couldn't jump on him. And then he did what he was doing. He fought the fight, but then the very next time, he hit him with something. He's down on the ground. Hey, man, but Luis Ortiz wants to get back in there. It's like, man, I can do it because I can find a way not to get hit for 12 rounds. And maybe Luis Ortiz can do it. But I don't know, Doug. I don't know if Usyk, come on, man. Just let's keep Usyk in perspective, Holmes, until he does something. Hell no. You think Corey, man, come on, man. I can't give it any more length. Usyk will get the shit beaten out of him by Luis Ortiz, man. Luis Ortiz will hurt that dude, man. But it is what it is, man. And and even if he is better than all of his opponents, it ain't like Deontay Wilder ever lost to any of his opponents. All his opponents got knocked out. All you're saying is that he's better than a bunch of dudes that got knocked out. What's he going to get knocked out later? Or is he going to do a better job before he gets knocked out? I mean, what does that mean? Deontay Wilder ain't lost. Hey, Marian Magnus said, first video I've listened to yours was you talking about the live stream process young kids need to go through. Keep dropping logic, respect. Hey, man, thank you, man. Oh, the learning. Oh, and the learning process young people need to go through. Keep dropping live. Hey, man, Marian Magnus, man, thank you so much for the support and super chat, man. Much love out there. Yeah, man, we'll talk about those things. Right now, I'm stuck on silliness. Because honestly, man, that's come on. That's silliness. That's just silliness. Unless he proves it. Oh, said dang. Deontay says Spilka didn't start breathing until 4 seconds after the knockout. You know, I'm going to say something. On my last bit, I'm going to talk about this. I had an argument with somebody when on my channel. Like, this dude never argued with me again. Okay? And this is what I have to say about everybody that wants to talk about, like, technique, right? Like, oh, this guy's technique is not good. That guy's technique's not good. You know, I don't like the way this guy throws punches. I don't like his footwork, all that, right? And in the lead up to the Floyd Mayweather Jr., what's his cat's name again? The MMA fighter, Conor McGregor, right? We had this conversation, right, where he's talking about technique, this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, at a certain point in time, it don't matter. Your technique don't matter. Once you get to a certain point where your physical strength where you're overcome by physical strength and length, that technique goes out the window because size is talent. Size is talent. So when you're just looking on a screen and looking at this cat like, oh, makes 0 sense, but you pissed is the objective. I don't know what the hell what that is. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so when somebody's just looking at the way Deontay Wilder's throwing punches, you're just looking at how he punches. You're looking at, but you're not realizing that this dude's 6'7". He's 6'7". He's extremely fast. He's extremely agile. If he doesn't want you to hit him, you're not going to hit him. But size is talent. So I was in this conversation. I see this, man. Gideon, I'll get to that in 1 second, man. About Hearn meeting with Rubinski. Yeah, they trying to make that money and get out of that fight. I told this dude, I was like, okay, so technique, right? And he's like, no. The best technique can overcome size. It can overcome strength. I was like, okay, really? And I got this guy to stop on this argument. I was like, okay, if you think this guy's technique is going to overcome all that, overcome size and strength, tell me this. What happens if you put the best fighter in the world, the biggest heavyweight in the world, just use Anthony Joshua, 6'6", 250-pound, technically solid boxer, and you put him in a cage with a 150-pound female chimpanzee. What's going to happen? Is the chimpanzee is he going to kill Anthony Joshua, or is that female chimpanzee just going to eat his face? The female chimpanzee at 100 and whatever pounds it is too strong, too aggressive for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua will die in that cage just because of the strength factor. You cannot arm lock a gorilla. Okay? You can punch a gorilla dead in the face with a perfectly timed punch, and he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to grab you by the head, rip your arm out, and shove it up your ass. Because he's too big, he's too strong, he's too aggressive. I don't care what Lomachenko does against a guy that's as big as Anthony Joshua. He's not going to win the fight. No way. Anthony Joshua will run up to him, put his arm out, throw his ass up against the ropes, hammer punch him on the top of the head, and knock him out. Deontay Wilder, that example is not that widespread with Usyk and Deontay Wilder, but it's about the same thing. As soon as Usyk gets hit, Usyk is going to get dazed. He gets hit twice, he's going to sleep. I'm just telling you. There's a certain point. I mean, I'm playing around with my son, and my son can fight. You know, he knows how to throw he knows a little something about boxing, right? And he's like, Dad, let's fight. He weighs 95 pounds. And he threw a couple hands out there, and I was like, fuck it. Just jumped him, grabbed him, picked him up, and moved him. Like, look, man, you're not big enough, just so you know. Yeah, you stuck a couple, but if I hit you with this, you're going to go to sleep. That's what'll happen to Usyk, man. More than likely against Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. And what's his name? Joe Joyce is garbage. But that's just my take, man. B-Slap says, justice for Harambe. Hey, man. It was a shame Harambe had to go, dog. But it is what it is. Anyway, man, that's funny, man. I had fun with that. Oh, Wilder will punch through his gloves. Exactly, Chris. Right? And he might knock him out. He might knock him out with his own glove. That's what I'm saying. Big boys are big boys, man. Do I box? No, I stopped with martial arts. I used to spar martial arts when I was a younger dude. I got kicked in the chin every time I open my mouth, my jaw clicks. And I was like, oh man, I don't want that no more. But I used to spar a lot, but it was martial arts when I did that. I've always just been a big boxing fan. I do think though that I'm gonna go spar, that I'm gonna go back to the gym. I need to do it. I really want to do it, man. I want to get into the ring a few times, but you know, them little kids be throwing hard, dog. Them little kids be throwing hard as shit. I am not gonna pick this kid up. Nah, homie. Shout out to the LDBC, man, for sure. Yeah, but Beverly, somebody kicked me in the jaw, man. My shit's been clicking for ever since. It's terrible. Never went back, man. I probably should have went to the hospital and got a realigned, but every time I open my mouth too much, I think of that damn what was the kick? And I don't even think it was. We just sparring, playing around, got too close to that kick. Shit hit me in the jaw. Anyway. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I got practice, but I have practice. Some things I got to do later today. But I'll send you the invite. What's your schedule tomorrow? Are you free? You're free tomorrow, 12:30 on, and we'll do it for sure. You probably have TMJ for now. What's TMJ? What's TMJ? Miss Boxing Fanatic. I would say fantastic. I'm sorry. Miss Boxing Fanatic. What is TMJ? What does that mean? If it means my jaw's out of line, hell yeah. Oh yeah, hey, Marcus said Fanon got that Karate Kid treatment. Hey, he didn't drop me and he lost though. I'll tell you that. I won. Oh, it's mandibular. Oh, it's the mandibular disorder. If that means temporal mandibular joint, whatever that shit is, it pops every time I open my mouth. But I won, by the way. I won. So you're loyal. Yeah, it is it's my lower jaw on the left side. And it's just it's been jacked up ever since. Yep, definitely my lower jaw. Oh, it's caused some trauma. Yeah, he got me clean too. I know he did it on purpose too. That's the funny thing. He did it on purpose. And it was a little shorter dude. I think at the time I think I was like a red belt at the time. I was a red belt at the time. He was a black belt. And we were just doing spin kicks. We're doing spin kicks. Dude hit me straight in my fucking jaw with that shit when we were sparring. He spun, did that shit. I hit his ass dead in the fucking stomach. Shit as hard as I fucking could too. I was like, really? Boom. He hit him dead in the gut. And I know he felt that just like I felt mine, except for his gut probably healed. Mine didn't. But I damn sure hit him in his stomach as hard as I could. Because I was like, oh, okay, it's like that. Boom, got you. My brother had taught me I didn't have that liver. If I could have, if it was a straight, if I'd known that liver punch at the time, if I'd known a liver punch, it would have been tough because dude was a southpaw. I think your liver's on that other side. So anyway, it is what it is, man. I'm still pissed if you cannot tell. Size don't matter, says Mike Tyson and Wilder. Nah, it matters. Mike Tyson is big. All right, Mike Tyson is short, but Mike Tyson is big. I've met Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is very, very big. His head looks like looking at Mike Tyson in his face, it looks like his eyes are 2 inches back from his skull. He doesn't have height, but he's a very big man, dude. Very big man. I wouldn't be surprised if when Mike Tyson was fighting, I would not be surprised at all if his walk around weight was somewhere around it's something like he looked like he weighed 260, 250. I've seen dudes who were 6 foot, 260, 270 that were smaller than him. Mike's trunk is massive. Oh my God, he's massive, dog. His hands, I shook his hands. It's like his hands are an inch and a half wide, dude. I said, that's your story and you're sticking to it, right? Do you mean what had happened was, what do you mean? I don't know. I'm making a still story. I'm telling you, kick me. You talking about me hitting him kicking me? No, I hit the shit out that dude. You're not just going to fuck off and kick me in the face and you're not going to get hit back. Hell no. Not to some little dude. No. If that's what you're talking about, well, that's my story. No, I didn't get dropped. He hit me with that shit dead he hit me spin kick dead in the chin. I did not go down and I hit him in his stomach. No, you're not going to get dropped by every punch that gets you. I mean, what? I saw the shit coming. He didn't hit me in my temple. He hit me in the chin and it came off my chin. It hurt. I didn't even feel it at the time. I didn't really feel it. I just knew that, damn, you really kicked me. I didn't think it was right to kick me. Because usually what we were doing at the time, we were sparring, but we weren't we weren't going to kick each other. You know, we're not going to hit you. I'm not going to side kick you in the face in a like for real, you know? But if you want me to, shit, I'll kick you in the face. Now I'm not going to probably pull a muscle, but hell no, I'll elbow you. You know what I mean? Like you get taught in that shit. It was like, instead of punching you, I could just let my hand go by and hit you with an elbow up close. You're gonna go down if I do that. But you don't do that when you guys are when you're just trying to learn. And we weren't sparring. There was no headgear, you know. Wonderful J Bob was Tyson was never 250. Yes, he was. He never weighed in at 250, but he was 250, believe it. When he weighed in at 215, 220, that's ripped. Mike Tyson walking around bigger than 250. Hell, dog. And if he's 220, that's 220, 100% solid muscle. I mean, 100% solid muscle, 12% body fat, 12% athletic level body fat. If he's wearing that, if 235 is the biggest he ever fought at, maybe, but that's not the biggest he ever walk around at. That's a big dude, man. I'm telling you. And 222, 235 at I said it was just a weak joke, bro. It's all love. Yeah. It's all right, man. I still get pissed off about it because I couldn't believe that motherfucker did that. I mean, it's been a lot of years, man, and I'm still like Ujin. The cat's name was Ujin Chang. Ujin Chang. I'm like, come on, Ujin. What the fuck is that about, dog? Tyson fought Lennox at 235. Yeah, at 235. And that's 235 training, running, being in shape. If Mike Tyson didn't go vegan and Mike Tyson was just eating what you and I wanted to eat, Mike Tyson would walk around at 300 easy. Easily could get up to 300 pounds. What's going on, Deion Washington? I'm chilling, just doing my thing, talking it up. That's it. Oh, and he was fat. Now he's fat in the ring, man. He wasn't fat in that. He wasn't fat in real life, man. It's funny how you see you see people that look big on TV. I mean, they look thinner in person than they do on TV. But I mean, I met Lennox Lewis too. Lennox Lewis is a big dude. That's a big dude, man. And if they say Lennox Lewis is walking around fighting at 250, 260, that's just a big man. That's a big man, dog. Anyway, it is what it is, man. But 235 probably was too heavy because that's 12 rounds. That's move. You run around for 12 rounds, 12 rounds. You got to run. You got to throw punches. You got to be in terrific shape. You know what I mean? That's somebody, if he's not in shape and he doesn't have to do that, he could easily put on, 10% of his body weight, right? So if he's fighting at 235 and that was too big for him, but say he's fighting at 235, if he puts 10% of his body weight on just by eating fucking Popeyes or some shit like that, that's an extra 23 pounds. He's walking around at 260, Oh, he said, I met Michael Grant on Times Square. Dude was huge. Yeah, man, I met another dude I met was Thomas Hearns. I was like, this dude fought at welterweight? Thomas Hearns? Dude, I was looking up. I mean, I'm 6'1". I'm looking up at Thomas. I felt like I was looking up at Thomas Hearns. And Thomas Hearns was broader than I was. And Michael Spinks. Michael Spinks is a big dude. And you would never look at Michael Spinks and think Michael Spinks looking at him on TV was some exceptionally big guy. But it is what it is, man. Anyway, man, so it is what it is. And look, I appreciate everybody coming out, man. Me and Beverly Rose definitely going to do it next time, man. I'm going to shoot you out an invite before I do it tomorrow. Beverly Rose, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Much love in the super chats and all those good things. And with that, I'm out. Peace.